Floating versus treading water in a survival situation. It's a fascinating topic. Essentially, the idea here is that floating, as counterintuitive as it might seem, is actually your best bet if you want to conserve energy while waiting for rescue.
Mhm. Right. So you're saying that rather than thrashing around, it's smarter to just relax and float?
Exactly. The document really digs into how our natural buoyancy, thanks to physics, specifically Archimedes' principle, means everyone can float to some
Yeah.
extent. And it's all about mindful breath control. When you take a deep breath, it actually lowers your overall density, making floating easier.
That's pretty cool. So if I understand you correctly, the energy cost of constantly moving while treading water is much higher, right?
Precisely. Treading water is essentially an energy sapping technique. It keeps you active, but it drains your stamina quickly. And it's really only ideal for short term situations like repositioning or signaling for help, not for long stretches of time spent waiting around.
Right, that makes sense. It's kind of like trying to run a marathon at sprint speed. All that unnecessary movement eventually gets you exhausted.
Yeah, exactly. It's like trying to keep your car engine revving high in a traffic jam. It just wastes fuel. And in this case, your fuel is your energy. You want to save every bit of it until help comes along.
hmm And I guess this ties into why the document emphasizes calming down and managing your breathing as key survival skills.
Absolutely. When panic sets in, you're not only using up more energy through unnecessary movement, but you're also struggling to control your breath. And
Yeah,
without proper breath control, you actually lose some of that natural buoyancy that could keep you afloat.
I've always wondered though, if everyone naturally has this ability to float, why do people instinctively start treading water or even thrash around in distress?
That's a great point. It's a common misconception that by actively trying to survive, you're doing something right. But really, these instinctive actions can work against you. They use up energy and, ironically, increase your risk because you're not giving your body the chance to float and
hmm
conserve energy. It's all about retraining those instincts.
So instead of panicking and doing a bunch of unnecessary movements, the advice is to just relax and focus on your breath.
Yes, indeed. They recommend, for example, the horizontal back float, where you lie back with your arms out, head tilted back, and a relaxed vertical float, using the breath to help lift you. Both ways rely on staying calm and getting your breathing under control.
But what if someone is naturally a strong swimmer and they feel more in control when moving? Isn't there a risk that letting go might feel counterintuitive?
Yeah, that's a valid point. Many people equate movement with survival, thinking that swimming keeps them in control. But the research here and the practical advice suggests that without rescue in sight, all that movement is just burning energy, kind of, like tossing fuel on a fire.
Right.
It fundamentally challenges a lot of the common survival instincts.
I see. So, in essence, it's not about doing more, but about doing less, using the minimum effort to stay safe.
Exactly. And to add, the document really drives home the idea of energy conservation. It emphasizes that rather than relying on constant energy draining techniques like treading water, you should practice floating and focus breath control. Even children can benefit from learning this because it makes them safer in the water.
That really reframes water survival strategies, doesn't it? Instead of just teaching everyone to swim, teaching them to float and control their breathing might actually save more lives in emergency situations.
True, and I'm a little critical of some traditional water survival training that doesn't incorporate these techniques enough. I mean, we're often taught to kick and paddle harder, which, while natural, doesn't necessarily prolong survival. It might even lead to quicker exhaustion.
hmm That's a crucial distinction. But let me ask, how do you think people can overcome the natural panic response and truly relax in a crisis?
Well, it comes down to practice in controlled environments. By engaging in water survival training that focuses on floating techniques and breath control, individuals can build both the physical and mental skills needed to remain calm when it truly matters.
Yeah.
Over time, it becomes more of a muscle memory than a panicked instinct.
So regular practice in calm, safe waters could really change the game, right?
Absolutely. The actionable recommendations in the document really highlight that. Spend time practicing horizontal and vertical floats, master your breathing, and above all, conserve energy. It's almost like training your brain to override that fight or flight response in water.
It's interesting because it suggests that staying almost motionless isn't a sign of giving up. It's about survival through smart energy management.
Yeah, that's the counterintuitive part. It could seem almost lazy to just float, but really, it's the most energy efficient method you have. And in a survival situation, every drop of energy counts.
I like that analogy of conserving fuel. It really paints a picture of the importance of measured actions in crisis situations.
Exactly. And it's not just theory, it's all based on sound scientific principles. Archimedes' principle tells us that buoyancy is a natural force helping us stay afloat, and human physiology shows that controlled breathing can indeed prolong survival by reducing stress and maintaining proper oxygen levels.
And there's also the practical safety aspect. Floating makes you more visible to rescuers compared to treading around frantically, doesn't it?
Right? When you're floating, particularly in an emergency, you're not only conserving energy, but also presenting a calmer, more stable target for rescuers to spot. Plus, the lack of erratic movement can limit accidental injuries or worsening of the situation.
That's a really holistic approach, mind, body, and even practical rescue considerations.
Yeah, it's about changing the way we think about survival. Instead of equating action with safety, it's about smart, minimal moves that keep you viable until help arrives.
Yep.
It really offers a fresh perspective on strategies that many of us had taken for granted.
So, if I were to give someone a quick tip, it would be don't panic, take deep breaths, and just float. It almost sounds too simple, but apparently it works.
Exactly. And that's the real takeaway. Practicing these techniques can be life-saving. Whether it's through structured water survival training or simply spending more time in the water to, get comfortable with stillness, the benefits are clear.
I think it really challenges the common wisdom around water survival. There's a lot to learn when you look at the science behind it.
For sure, it's not about being passive, it's about being smart with your energy. And remember, the key is calm, controlled breathing. As odd as it may sound, your best life-saving tool in water might just be your ability to stay calm.
Right.
So next time you're in water, a little relaxation could go a long way.
Well, this really gives us a lot to ponder. Floating might very well be the secret to survival that most of us have overlooked until now.
Absolutely. And as counterintuitive as it is, embracing that natural buoyancy and calmness can boost your endurance while waiting for help, turning what seems like inactivity into active survival.
Yep.
It's a game changer.
Thanks for breaking that down. It's fascinating to see how simple, well-practiced techniques can turn the tide in a survival situation.
Anytime. Remember, in water survival, sometimes less really is more.
And with that, let's encourage everyone to get some practice in calm waters. It might save a life someday.